Hi, my name is Sally and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Makartt, a multi-million-dollar nail company. 8 months ago, I was still working out of the second floor of my home, and eventually we got big enough to have our own warehouse. And then I hired some employees to come and help me, and this is my life at Makartt. So today's the day after Labor Day weekend, and I need to get ready really quickly, so I'm just covering up some of my blemishes, and I'm trying to head out the door because I've got so much that needs to be done today. I need to film, I need to edit, and I need to do some planning. Oh, Christ. What did you do? Are you in on this? Great. So I'm getting ready for my day. It's 7 in the morning and it's super early. I ended up taking off my nails last night since I had them on all over the weekend, and I generally like to keep my nails just undone before I get to work, and this is because there's always so much nail content that needs to be filmed, and so I keep my nails clean and just without anything on them so that my team can use my hands. Sometimes they don't have a hand model. So I drink this every single morning. It helps me get started with my day. And one of the reasons why I don't have coffee is because, if you guys don't know this, I have hypothyroidism and it makes my heart bounce super, super fast. And so any caffeine just really does not help the situation. And then I talk really, really fast for the rest of the day, and it's just a pain for myself and everybody else around me. So I'm just waiting for this to heat up so that I can put this into my cup. And yes, I'm using Garrett's mug today because I don't know where mine is. It's probably in the dishwasher. Now that my tea is hot, I'm basically waiting for it to chill. And while I do that, I'm going to answer a couple emails before I get into the office. I love going into the office, but one of the things is that, I don't really have the time to sit down and answer all of my emails, which is super important to my team that I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm sitting in my driveway. I'm getting ready to go to work, and it's kind of rainy today, so hopefully it's not going to be super jammed on the freeway. And the hair is an absolute disaster. So if you guys don't know, over Labor Day weekend, I tried to update my own highlights, and I made the mistake of watching YouTube videos. And actually all of the YouTube videos start with, don't try this at home. What did I do? I tried it at home. And not only did I do it myself, I got my husband to do the back of my head, as well as like parts of the hair on the side that I can't really see. So pro tip number 1, you guys, don't ever make your significant other try to bleach your hair at home either. Now I look like I'm like a K-pop girl. I look so ridiculous. So anyway, let's go ahead and start heading over to work.
Criteria 1 range should be Emily Susanna.
Criteria 1 range should be date. Highlight the entire date column.
Okay. Yeah, back to that. Go up row 1. Wait, no, that's all the. Why is that labeled go up pro? Alright, that's what threw me off.
This is the total one.
But that's the total one. Alright, well, it's just listed as go up pro. That's what threw me off. Sorry, you were right.
Okay, so I'm at the office, and today I've got a super important task. As you guys know, Makartt is kind of known for like our influencer collab. I just got a bunch of samples in for a influencer that we are going to be working with either at the end of this year or beginning of next year. And if you guys don't know this, because our chemists don't necessarily know our influencers personally, they're more like the guys behind the formula. I'm kind of the girl behind the colors, and also like actually understanding people's styles and stuff like that. I need to decide if there's certain products that we want to send over to the influencer for them to evaluate, or are there certain ones that we just are going to just scrap and not even show to them because it's just not worth it. So I'm checking for a lot of things like consistency. I'm also checking for things like color saturation and just the overall tone to see if it's something that our influencers like. So before we get started, I did want to show you guys what samples look like, because you know how you guys see those like the packaging that's like really pretty, like the white gel polish bottles with the names all on there. That's not the case when I receive them. When I receive them, they come in like a bag like this. It looks really gross. It basically has these like standard generic black bottles. This is just so that I can't actually see the colors before I swatch them, so that I don't make any like, you know, kind of prearranged judgment. And because they've come a very long way, we do have these like bubble sheets to basically protect them from breaking or damaging during the shipping process. I've got a bunch of these swatch sticks, which is where I usually do all my swatches. And I know that like I've seen a lot of nail techs use those kind of like, you know, the ones that come in like a little circular thing and it's like short nails. So I don't use those because I need to have enough real estate for me to actually examine the color, which is why I actually use these like super long stiletto stick. And I actually just buy them off of Amazon. Since Makartt, we don't sell these. We should though, I love these. They're huge, so I can really see the colors very well. Let's start with this bag. And by the way, you guys, like there's no names on these. Like there's literally like numbers. It literally just says like batch number. And then after I decide whether or not, you know, we send it to our influencers and they actually approve of the color, then we'll come back, and then that's kind of when my team will go in and actually, you know, come up with these fun names for these colors. So let's test this one. So this one is batch 421. We've been in business for a very long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this and just look at the color. So it's like a very light blue. It's almost like a sky, not really a sky blue, but it looks like a sky blue. And I basically just go in and swatch everything. So for this particular set, they asked for almost like a little bit of a, it's not necessarily a jelly, it's just slightly more translucent, so that it comes off a little softer. Yeah, this is one coat. It's very like, how do I put it? It's very uneven right now, and it basically only has one coat, which is probably why, but the color is a little bit lighter than what they were looking for. So I'm actually gonna go in and just do a second coat, and we'll see how that turns out. So let me cure this, and then we can do a second coat together. But when I'm doing a second coat, I don't do it on the original swatch stick because I wanna see the difference between one coat versus the second coat, and then kind of see if it's like way too saturated for her, because I know she's looking for something a little bit more translucent, not necessarily jelly-like, but just slightly cloudy. So I'm just doing a second swatch stick so that I can see like what it looks like as a one layer versus a 2-layer color. I do really like the consistency of this one though. By the way, you guys, this is our second round. The first round, I didn't even bother to show it to her because it just did not pass, you know, my quality standards. So the first stick has been cured, and now I'm going to go in with a second color, or sorry, a second coat. Okay, I'm not loving this, and I'll explain why. Yes, I understand that I'm putting it under like the bottom side of the swatch stick, but the color is really uneven. Like, this is not okay to me. I love the color though, it's just the formula didn't exactly come out to our Makartt standard, because we shouldn't have to see, you know, basically like darker or more stronger of a color on one side, and then in areas it's kind of patchy. And unfortunately, I think I'm gonna go with a no on this particular color or this particular formula, just because it's not, you know, I wouldn't want patchy nails. So our chemist did ship over 2 different formulas for me to test. So I am going to test the other formula. I don't know if it's the same color, but I do want to just test it just to see, you know, if I'm still having the same problem. So this is like a grayish color. I'm doing it on the top of my swatch stick, and then I am going to do it on the underside of the swatch stick as well. But okay, this is like super translucent. It's like much more translucent than the first formula, but I like the way that this formula runs. It's not as patchy. But yeah, no, this one is so much more smoother and it's not patchy. And that's what you get with some like formulas, and the reason is because of either pigmentation or our ingredients that we put in. And you guys know this, like Makartt, we're very particular with our gel polish formulas, because we want them to be like very saturated when they're supposed to be, obviously, but we need them to glide on just like butter. Like this one glides on like butter. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I'm loving this one. The color is so even. This passed my test. Like, look at how even that color came out. For reference, I did want to swatch another color for you guys. This is from like a current Makartt collection. I think, yeah, this is from the Birds of Paradise collection. This color is amazing. And I wanted to show you guys the process. This here is a Makartt gel polish. And I've got a swatch stick on here. And I'm going to show you guys like just how saturated it is and also like how smooth. Do you guys see this? Here, let me flip this around. Do you see how smooth that just glides onto the swatch stick? Like, this is one coat, you guys. Like, it does not penetrate. Like, absolutely no penetration. You only need one coat and you get this gorgeous, gorgeous color. And like, here, I don't know if you guys can see this very well against the screen, but do you see how like there's no bubbles, there's no bumpiness, like it's just very smooth, and it basically just self-levels itself out so that you get like a really, really clean consistency. Now, I'm gonna show you guys a different brand that I'm not gonna name, and you'll kind of see the difference. This one here is from a different brand, and I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. So, first off, why does it smell so bad? It smells like sweaty socks. So, this is a different brand, and as I'm applying this, I'm already starting to notice that it's very streaky, and it's unfortunately not self-leveling. So with, you know, just gel polish being so thick, because we're trying to really get that really nice saturation, when your gel polish doesn't self-level, that's when you end up with a lot of like bumpiness. So if you guys can see, just like right at the tip, you see how it's kind of like bumpy over there? I love this color though, I just don't like this formula. Like, it like picks itself up and then it runs these like really strange like dots. I don't even know how to describe this. Or maybe it's like just drying on its own or something, or I don't know. This is a horrible formula. I am not loving this at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed testing some products and samples with me. As you guys know, we do have a new collection that is launching in a couple days. And so I'm really excited for you guys to see it. I don't know if I can swatch it on this video. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not allowed to like pre-announce colors and like collections until basically like all of our different departments approve them, and usually it's our legal department that is always watching me on these videos to make sure that I don't spill anything that I'm not supposed to spill. So yeah.